Our next guest is a board member of the Jackson County Chamber of Commerce from South Central Michigan Works, Community Relations Officer, Sarah Hartzler. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
And you've got two very little girls,
Yes.
So it must have been a busy holiday season for you.
It was, but it was exciting because I have a 2.5-year-old and a 7-month-old. The 7-month-old didn't really care, but the 2.5-year-old thought it was awesome because she got to open not only all her gifts, but all the baby's gifts too.
Oh.
So that made it really exciting. But yes, it's always, I think Christmas becomes more fun when you have children because you can relive all your childhood experiences through them. So
Oh, absolutely.
see, you're going to have so much to look forward to.
We are.
It's going to be exciting.
We're very excited. Well, we're very hopeful as a community that things are improving, and you're probably a good person to judge based on employment and labor statistics. Where do we stand as we start 2011?
Well, we're definitely seeing things improve. And I know that that's hard for some people to hear and understand because there are still people out there that are having difficulty finding employment. But we are seeing a great reduction in the number of people coming into our centers, so that's a positive sign.
Is it an indication that people have stopped looking? Because that's a fear that the unemployment statistics don't reflect.
Well, it is true that sometimes the unemployment statistics are not 100% accurate because right now our unemployment rate is 11% we're at right now for Michigan and for Jackson County. Last year, though, this time we were at 14%. So we are seeing things improve. Where you get kind of a discrepancy in the numbers is because if someone stops drawing unemployment but they're still unemployed, they're not counted anymore. So the unemployment number only counts people that are drawing unemployment.
Okay.
It also will not count people that are self-employed. So people like, for example, my husband, who is a farmer, he's self-employed. If he doesn't have a job, he doesn't go on the unemployment structure as counting for who's unemployed. So sometimes it can be a little bit of a discrepancy in the numbers there. But what we're seeing with our service center is that it is a lower number of people that are coming in to file for unemployment, but also a lower number of people that are coming in just to do basic job searching. So we have seen an improvement there. We offer courses in our service center for various computer skill training as well as some educational training all around. And we've seen a reduction in the number of people attending those classes. And when we were in such a bad state last year this time, we saw those classes were pretty full constantly because people were really trying everything they could to get as many skills as they could when they're going out there job searching. So.
And I know there's a feeling of desperation when you have those rooms packed. I'm sure psychological impact on each of those job seekers is greater because they feel like they're in competition with so many more people.
And it's stressful too for our staff because we weren't able to increase our staff. We didn't get extra money. So during the time when we were seeing a great increase in people coming into our centers, we had the same number of staff that had been there previously. So, really hands off to them because they have to deal with they have to be not just job search counselors, but they just have to be counselors in general because they see people that are in really desperate situations in their life. They're really upset, which is rightfully so. I've been laid off before, so I understand that it's a stressful, confusing, painful, emotionally painful situation to be in. So I really congratulate our center staff because they work really hard to try to ease that tension with people when they come into the center. And it can be scary too because a lot of people that come into our center sometimes have never even used a computer before, and here we're telling them, here, you need to sit down at this computer and enter your resume online. So we try to offer some courses to help people if they're not comfortable with computers so that we can get them comfortable with using the computer because really in today's day and age you really have to know how to use that computer and enter information into it. So
yeah, there probably isn't a job that you don't need to have some computer skills.
Right, that's true. That's true. And we have a lot of employers that tell us that too. That's a basic need. We just need them to know how to utilize the computer. So
Did you, as an agency, get to take advantage of some of the stimulus dollars, and is that still flowing through?
We aren't seeing a lot of the stimulus dollars coming through right at this time. We did get some ARRA funding, the Recovery Act funding way back, and we used it for a couple different things. We used it for a summer job program, which we did. It was very big 2 years ago. We had a good program for the summer youth. So those are the kind of things that we were able to use those funds for. And we work very closely with our legislators. That's a very important thing that we do that people don't get to see every day, is we have to work very hard to educate our legislators about what Michigan Works, the system is, and how we benefit the public in our communities, because we do rely heavily on the federal government for funding for what we do. Not state funding. We really don't get a lot of state funding for what we do. Very small percentage, like 2% of what we get is state funding. Everything else is federal dollars.
And I believe employers are going to have to be paying a little bit more, in some cases maybe a lot more, because Michigan has been one of the biggest beneficiaries of federal unemployment dollars.
Right, right. So it's to the employer's benefit too for us to be able to try to get people back into work as quickly as possible. One positive thing that we're seeing is a lot of small businesses that are starting to really strive and do well, and we might not be getting job orders by the hundreds at a time, but we're getting here and there, and those all matter. And a lot of people, we try to tell them, every opportunity you have can lead to bigger and better things. So it's sometimes you have to take a chance and take that position and see where it can lead you. I know that's what I did when I first started with South Central Michigan Works. I worked as an employment advisor in the resource room. When people came in, I helped them on the computers, and I just plugged away and worked for many years until I got to be able to be in the position I am now. So sometimes you think you're starting in at something that's not very important, and it can lead you to great things. So.
Well, there's so many stories where the CEO started in the mailroom, so.
And it's hard to get people to see the positives of it, and it's hard to point that out at the time, and they don't want to start over again. A lot of people, they don't want to go back to the beginning if they've worked very hard and gotten themselves, especially if they're a little older in age and they're like, I'm so close to retiring, I don't want to go back and do that again. So we try really hard to do what we can to encourage them. But the other thing that people have a hard time remembering is we're not the unemployment office. So they'll come to us and have questions regarding, where's my check, things like that. And we don't send out the checks, and we don't process any of that information. So sometimes it's a struggle just to get the information out there to the job seekers so that they know who does what. The state does this part and we do this part. So.